Okay, hello and welcome to the webinar on Prodsmart. So from paper and spreadsheets to future-ready manufacturing with Prodsmart. I'd like to welcome everyone to the webinar. Just a quick run through the agenda. So a quick introduction and welcome. A welcome to Baker Bains, an introduction to Autodesk. So we're privileged and honored to have Autodesk join us on this webinar. We've got Stephanie and Jonathan from Autodesk that will be presenting from a technical perspective and a solutions perspective. We've got a very interesting technical demo. We've got a call to action at the end, and we'll close for questions afterward. Okay, so let's get started. So a very quick introduction to Baker Bains. At Baker Bains, we're more than just an Autodesk reseller company. We are a catalyst for innovation, a partner for progress, and a solution-orientated powerhouse. Our mission revolves around a singular purpose: to empower our customers to design and create a better world. With this belief, we believe that the essence of Baker Bains is managed via our consulting activities, which you can see on screen, which is called iAdopt, which looks at three main areas: consulting, education, hardware, and training. Our approach, we understand that progress begins with transformation of ideas into reality. It's a simple yet powerful approach with working hand in hand with our customers to understand the unique challenges and aspirations. We believe that each problem has an opportunity to innovate, and every design holds potential to reshape the way they do business. So in areas, if we look at it in a little more detail, under consulting, we look at the people, process, and business assessment side of it. There's tools like BIM consulting, data management, CAD, CAM, as well as simulation. Under education, we believe in two types of learning. So your classroom learning, which could also be virtual, but also a combination of a blended learning approach, which looks at your self-paced online e-learning. And from a hardware and software perspective, we are again Autodesk Gold partners, Leica partners, as well as Clear Edge partners. And we encompass this in the many industries that we serve, all the way from the building, civil infrastructure, energy, process, plant, and manufacturing. Now, a little bit myself. I've been in the Autodesk industry, or the channel industry, for over a decade now, with experience in Autodesk consulting, from initial purchase all the way to product adoption and implementation. I have qualifications in mechanical engineering as well as Autodesk manufacturing and data management. So enough about me, let's get cracking into it. I'm going to introduce you to Autodesk, and the first speaker would be Stephanie. Stephanie's a Prodsmart account specialist who specializes in Prodsmart, headed out of from Germany, who's got quite a bit of experience in the consulting side of it, from the Netherlands, as well as in the IT background. So Stephanie would be enlightening us on Prodsmart today. And our second speaker, technical specialist on Prodsmart at Autodesk, is Jonathan. Jonathan also has quite a number of years of experience within the Autodesk environment, and is passionate about design as well. So I'm going to hand over to Stephanie to kick us off.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. Nice to meet you all. Today I'm going to give a short introduction about Prodsmart, so I'll get straight into it. Although we make engineering and manufacturing software as a technology company, as a market leader, we also do a lot of research. Recently, we published a report on the state of design and make in 2023, together with Ipsos, which is a leader in the global research industry, and experts around the world. It's a very long and detailed report, so I'm only pulling up one slide of it. What we found is that companies in design and manufacturing industries across multiple regions are facing a lot of different types of challenges. But these challenges are usually similar across all regions. The big takeaways from the study is that according to 80% of leaders in these industries, global uncertainty has increased over the past few years, which leads to several challenges, from an aging workforce to attracting talent and employee retention, to increased costs and cost control, supply chain resilience, and digitalization. Given these results, we asked ourselves the question, how can one act against these challenges? This is what most manufacturing businesses look like. They have all distinct processes that are tracked with different methods. For example, the production tracking form is done on paper. Inventory movements are tracked on a spreadsheet. Work instructions via PDF, quality control checklists are stored in a OneDrive folder, and who does what job is visualized in a whiteboard. The problem with this is that the data associated with these processes are disjoint and move slowly, so that you can only ever look backwards at what your business did yesterday, last week, or last month, instead of being able to get this data when you really need it, which is in real time. This is the most common way to manage information on the production floor, the paper traveler. I believe a lot of people in this audience probably recognize this in their own company. The dominant method for deploying and managing production data is as follows. After receiving a client order, you have someone opening an Excel template, inputting the information you see on the top, the order code, what are the products you are supposed to produce, how many, and when they are due. Then you have to print this document out, give it to the production supervisor or who else is responsible for starting the production. After that, this paper follows the production flow along with the manufactured materials. Now, this is typically the way that job traveler returns in the back office. Each of the workers registered the information regarding the operations they perform and hands it back to the back office team once production is finished. There are three main issues with this method. Firstly, deploying these processes requires a lot of work. For instance, generating new order for production involves assigning a dedicated worker, opening an Excel file, and editing various fields such as product, quantity, and more. After editing, the order is printed out and given to the production team. Secondly, there's the issue of data tracking. With numerous people registering data in multiple paper forms, it becomes challenging to track and monitor processes of orders. As a production manager, you may need to walk around the factory for 15 minutes before finding out the status of particular orders. Lastly, if you want to analyze your performance over a specific period, say a week, 2 weeks, or a month, you have to either assign someone to type in the information that workers have written on different platforms, or you have to go through the paperwork yourself. This piece of paper can be quite challenging to understand. Different people have different writing styles, and it can even get lost in the shop floor or have incorrect information captured. Here's an example. If you're supposed to produce 70 parts, but the drilling operation shows 67, and quality control indicates 63, why are there 7 missing parts? As a production manager, you receive this paper at the end of the process. This means that if there are any issues in the process, you won't have visibility until it's too late. You won't be able to solve the problem in time. Moreover, this type of data captured makes it difficult, if not impossible, to improve your processes using data and analytics. What does this way of working mean for a company? Manufacturers and fabricators using disconnected traditional methods to track their processes face common challenges, such as missed deadlines, low productivity, and uncovered bottlenecks. High processing costs, and the need for managers or dedicated personnel to enter and duplicate information across various systems are also challenges. These methods don't provide real-time information to stay on top of the process, which can lead to increased waste and scrap that can be very costly. Traceability and raw material sourcing can also be problematic. Many businesses try to solve these challenges with the resources available to them. However, the solution to these problems lays in the nature of their paper, spreadsheets, and whiteboard-based processes. Digitalizing these processes is the potential solution, but it has been prohibitively expensive for small and medium-sized businesses until now. So what are the benefits of digitalizing the shop floor? Using Prodsmart will give you three main benefits, not in terms of features, but in terms of advantages it provides to you. The first benefit is that it will automate and digitalize your manufacturing process, giving you real-time overview of what's happening in your shop floor, such as the status of your orders and whether any of them are delayed. The second benefit is that it provides long-term analysis to help improve your company's efficiency and identify bottlenecks. For example, if one of your factory workers, let's call him Klaus, is less efficient than the rest of your employees, you can create a report to find out and why and talk to Klaus to improve his efficiency. The third benefit requires building up data over time, but it's valuable, however. You can use the data to analyze what's happening in your business or production floor, such as identifying machines with a higher defect rate and target the problem to increase your profit. However, using Prodsmart can help you streamline your manufacturing process and make informed business decisions based on accurate data and analysis. At Autodesk, we've seen that companies that go digital are more competitive and drive more growth. So where does Prodsmart fit within the technology environment of a company? On one side of this matrix, you have the ERP, which is the backbone of companies that manage day-to-day business activities, like accounting and procurement. It serves as the glue between different departments and systems. On the other side of the matrix, you have machine controllers and sensors, which can be seen as the shop floor, the front end, and the back office, also known as the back end. Prodsmart is not only a manufacturing execution system, but it also offers capabilities such as advanced planning and scheduling, material resource planning, quality management, warehouse management, and manufacturing management. It works as the link between what happens on the shop floor and on the back end. To put it simply, three of the most expensive parts of a manufacturing company are machinery, material, and workers. Prodsmart is the tool to help you get the most out of your existing resources, which can then be linked or integrated into an ERP system that handles business processes rather than manufacturing processes. What used to be a complicated mix of paper, whiteboards, spreadsheets, and disconnected systems is now simplified. It's a modular and flexible web and mobile-based application, completely cloud-based and an out-of-the-box solution. So there's no need for internal infrastructure. It's plug and play with an interface for workers and another for management. Prodsmart digitalizes your existing processes to track, trace, plan, and analyze everything happening on the shop floor. It's flexible, so you don't have to change your process to fit into the structure of a rigid system. Instead, it will mirror what you're already doing and centralize that information in one single source of truth in real time. You can capture data using standard devices like tablets and smartphones, as well as barcodes or QR codes. These are some of the key features of the system, such as planning, production tracking, and quality control. As you can see, there's three main topics: traceability, tracking, and planning. Prodsmart comes as an out-of-the-box system that includes all modules and workflows in a single version. This means that you have access to everything and you can choose which parts of the platform you want to use. Additionally, we include services around the platform, so you can start small and gradually expand your usage. It's highly configurable to match most production types, and it's easy to use, quick to get started with. This enables you to have a single source of truth for everything happening on the shop floor in real time. What should you remember from this session? Our goal was to give you a taste of how Prodsmart can help you achieve various benefits. We highlighted a few, such as increasing your manufacturing flexibility, getting the necessary information to plan ahead for your next production run, minimizing your production waste to reduce environmental impact. The best part is that you can get this all a quick and easy solution. So what's next? Next, I will pass on to my colleague Jonathan to give a live demonstration of Prodsmart.
All right. Thanks so much, Stephanie, for that introduction and for showing a little bit about Prodsmart. I'm actually going to start off exactly where you left us. We're just going to start off at this production order. And as we can see, this really mirrors what the production is supposed to do, right? So which product is going to be produced, the quantity that was ordered, when this is due by, the different operations. But as you highlighted, there are several issues that can appear by using paper like this. We can lose a lot of valuable information. If we take a closer look, for example, at this production order, we'll see that the quantity ordered here was 70. The first operation did create 70, but then we went down to 67, and there are some comments which can be a bit hard to read. 3 was scrapped, and then it goes down towards, down here we've got 63 okay, and 4 not okay. But this is actually incorrect information, right? Because 63 parts might be okay, but that means actually 7 are not okay, because 3 from the first operation and then 4 from the last operation were not okay. So there's actually misleading information being recorded here, which can lead to various types of issues that we see in production companies every day. So instead of recording this on paper, let's actually digitalize what Prodsmart does here. So we're going to have a look at Prodsmart and keep the production order open here at the same time. We now have a quick view over our dashboard, and we'll look at that a little bit closer in a minute. But first, we're going to have a look at the production orders. This is the area where we can see the current state of production orders, which production orders are open, closed, archived, and of course here this is also where we can add a new production order. So within just a couple of clicks, we can quickly replicate what this production order would look like. We have here our number for the production order. We have our start date. Let's start that off this morning, for example. And we also have a due date that we can set up over here when this is supposed to be done. And then we'll select from the list of products. So this is my entire product database from which I can search, and I'm going to search for the product that I have inside here, which is this metal part right-hand door. And immediately, because I have the operations linked up to this product, I can make sure that the operations that are selected and that should be fulfilled are the same ones that appear on the production order. So this is the digitalized version of that. That means also that if I want to, I can actually deselect maybe certain operations that should not be fulfilled, or I can immediately define which of my workers should fulfill these and which machines they should be using to complete these operations as well. We can then input our quantity that we've ordered, a lot of batch number, because obviously we can track that entire lot as it goes through the production, enter the worker groups that are supposed to work on this, and then mark this production order as currently active. If we do want to, we can go into more detail and assign certain workers or certain machines and shipping types, but for me, this is now okay, and I'm going to save my production order. Okay, this production order is now done. However, it's telling me that I might have to add new production orders because I might not have enough of a certain quantity of parts available that are required as part of the bill of materials of this product. So if I need to, then I can create one production order per subproduct, or I can just add this to the original production order, which is what I'm going to do this time. So now we've got our production order, and we can always see our current state of this production order. If we just filter and search for the production orders, for example, we'll see here this is currently ongoing, but there is no progress on this yet. We can then, of course, go into the scheduling portion and make sure that our schedule actually allows for this production order to be completed. So we have our production order over here, the work order 22446, and this production order, it seems like, is leading to some capacity issues, because we are actually loading our production a little bit higher than our capacity allows for. So in order to remedy this, we might need to move our production order or adapt the dates of this production order. And you will see that now our loads are adapting in real time in order not to schedule above capacity. So as we move our production orders, we can make sure that we stay within our capacity, but also that we utilize our capacity to the most. Now, what we have right now is that we actually have some workers working on other production orders already. We can see on the worker screen, which might be at a station or maybe on a tablet of sorts, what they're actually working on currently, what their current productivity is, their cycle time they were given, work time that they've been working already, and what they're currently working on. Let's have this worker actually finish this production. They can now enter what was the actual number of products they've produced, and they can confirm and potentially create another. Let's just submit here, and we can see what the productivity level was for this production. It was actually quite low, and we will see this reflected in our dashboard. As productivity levels change and workers are working and machines are occupied, we see our levels of productivity, availability, quality, and overall equipment efficiency adapt in real time. Let's have our worker actually complete some of the operations that have to be done for the order that we set out to do before. So this is our work order 2244.6. We can see here what are the products I'll be working on. Maybe we'll be working on this product, and these are the different operations. So as we enter the first operation, a cutting information operation, right now there are no machines available to perform this operation, because we actually have another worker working on a different machine over here on a different production order. All of this we can always keep in mind and see in real time as we see the dashboard update in real time. We see that right now we still have a worker working, and we have also one machine working. If we need some more information about this, we could, for example, go down to the machines section and then see the current status of the machines. And here we can see, in fact, there is someone who is occupying this machine, the horizontal bandsaw that would be utilized for this operation. Here we can see there is a current running production order on a milled prototype, and there is an expected end time due to the quantity that's produced and the time that has to be spent for each of these operations. So this status of the machines can tell us always what is actually going on with these operations. What we can also do is we can manage maintenance orders on Prodsmart. So as potentially a worker is fulfilling a job, they might run into an issue with a machine where you have to fulfill a maintenance order, so you would have to go into a corrective maintenance, or this might be a preventive maintenance. There are different types of maintenance orders and priorities that we can set. This would then also play into the availability of each of the machines. So as my worker maybe runs into a downtime, they can insert that downtime on the machine. Maybe there's a downtime type, and this machine has now entered into that downtime. So as we go back to the status of the machines, we will be able to see in real time that currently this machine is now in a planned stop to refill the coolant fluid, and this machine is currently working. We'll be able to see the same real-time status with the workers that we're working with as well. So I don't have that many workers working in my virtual company, but I will be able to see their current status. And in fact, one worker is available, one is out of working hours, and one is currently busy with the downtime of the machine. Okay. Let's go back to the scheduling and make sure that apart from the production orders, we're not just making sure that the production orders in our rough scheduling are planned correctly, but we can also go into more detail on each of the operations and the machines and the workers respectively. So as part of these operations, we can make sure that these operations are scheduled when they can be performed, but also that we plan the right machine to fulfill this job. So once we select a machine over here, it will pop up and make sure that this machine is actually available. If for whatever reason we were to plan a machine at the same time of a different operation on that machine, then we would be shown that we have an overlap over here, which will have to be solved on that machine. So then we can either schedule a different machine that is also able to perform this operation or move that task around. Another important part of scheduling is, of course, also having the material ready when you need it. So looking into the material requirements, the MRP data, this, of course, hooks into the production orders and the purchase orders that have to be fulfilled at a certain time to have the respective material available when you need it. So moving towards just-in-time production. And if you do see that there is a need for material, then you can make sure to create a production order or a purchase order, depending on the type of product that you're facing. Okay, now we've looked at our dashboard updating in real time while our workers are working. We can see that one worker is now stopped and the machine is also stopped. We've seen the current status of machines and our workers. Now we might also want to go into a little bit of reporting. So we can do this oftentimes just purely from the production orders or from different areas inside of Prodsmart, where we can make sure we are generating a report straight from the production order itself. So we can at any time see where this production order currently is, what was ordered, what was produced already, what were the productivity levels, the quality rates. So we have all of the data available that would require a lot of time spent in analysis if you're moving from paper and Excel-based production tracking. Other types of reports and analytics could, for example, be we want an entire list of all of the productions relative to a time frame. Maybe we want to see all of the productions this month, or this month is actually relatively short, so let's look at all of the productions of last month, and then we will have a list of what actually went on. Some of the productions might be part of maintenance orders, but we've got an entire report that we're generating ad hoc when we need it. So just to recap here, Prodsmart is an incredibly valuable resource as a real-time production planning and execution tool that includes also other areas like the material planning that we saw and real-time status of your resources that are the most valuable assets that you have. So with the system, you can really always stay up to date on what your production is actually doing and make the most out of your resources. And with that, I'll hand it over to Stephanie again.
So we prepared an example customer which we're working with. It's IG Masonry Support Systems. We helped them gain better visibility around the actual production costs in real time, which led them to improve their quoting systems to be more accurate. And I get Amanda to play this short video for us.
I wanted to invest in Prodsmart because we quote for very large projects here that can be individually over a value of £1 million. We invested in Prodsmart to give us better visibility of our actual production costs in real time, which then led us to improve our quoting system to be more accurate at the front end of our quoting.
Masonry Support's come a long way when they became a separate legal entity. We want to be able to report on more data on the shop floor, go to a paperless system. Before Prodsmart, we had a lot of paper on the shop floor. Prodsmart allows the tablet views just for the guys to clock into jobs, clock out the jobs very easily, and be able to pull that data live upstairs into the finance office.
I think the benefits of implementing Prodsmart is that the tablets on the shop floor are really user-friendly. You know, it's clear, it's informative, and this allows us to prove to external auditors that one, we are doing quality checks for the quality certification that we need, and also health and safety checks as well.
I would recommend Prodsmart to another business because to get the real costings in terms of your production and real-time costings, and to even look at it against different products that we manufacture, to look at the costing break and the breakdown of the labour costs is absolutely crucial to us in any business really, if you could improve and go forward.
Prodsmart's been fantastic for us. The team are very helpful, very flexible, and have helped us tweak our system in order to get the best out of the system and our guys. So 100% I would recommend it to anybody else.
Prodsmart, the digital gateway for manufacturers.
So to move forward, in order to test Prodsmart, to help customers understand if it's the right fit for their environment, we provide a guided trial or test drive done together with you and your real data in your production flow. This is an example trial workflow where during the first day we sit together with the Prodsmart implementation team to set expectations and milestones, and then we go through all the way you work in and what information and documentation you're currently using. Then we sit 30 minutes together at the following sessions to set up the process, and by the day 3, on average, you can start tracking your first production order in Prodsmart. Towards the end, we evaluate together if it meets your goals and expectations, and then we decide the next steps. With that, I'm going to pass it back on to Daniel.
The call to action here. So for us, it's important that we gather this information so we can help you move forward in your Prodsmart journey. So on screen, you'll find firstly a link and a QR code to access the assisted trial. Now, the assisted trial is a very, very beneficial tool that the team from Prodsmart walks you through the process of onboarding you through to getting your organization ready for Prodsmart. So please grab hold of the link or the QR code to get access to the assisted trial. Once you fill your information in, I'll be contacting you to get you started and get you set up for the assisted trial. So I'll leave it up for a minute more and then we'll move on. Okay, thank you. I'm sure you've gotten that information. If you have not, there's ways that we can help. As you know, at Baker Bains, we solve our customer problems through digital transformation, helping them make and design a better world. And this is, I think, one of the steps in doing that. And I'm sure you would all agree from seeing what Jonathan showed off earlier on, there's some really amazing ways that you can transform the way you run your workshop and manufacturing environments with all the benefits that come to it. So I'm going to open up for questions now. You can type in questions into the chat box and the team would be glad to answer them. Or alternatively, if you know questions are not typing it in the chat box so it doesn't come to mind now, you can always reach us via the our info@bakerbains slide or any of the areas on screen. So I'll give it a couple of minutes and we'll look out on the chat box. Okay, so I have some private messages coming in on my side. So there's one here that says how easy it is to set up Prodsmart within the workshop environment. Stephanie, Jonathan, I'll open it up to you guys to give us some indications on that.
Sure, I'll go ahead. So it's really trivial. As Stephanie showed before, the intention of Prodsmart primarily is simply to digitalize what is going on currently in the shop floor, so no processes have to be changed at all. Through the assisted trial, we're going to have a look at all of the documents that are passed over. What do the production orders look like? Which operations are being tracked? Which quality metrics are important? And then these will simply be digitalized in Prodsmart so that you have essentially exactly the digital equivalent of what you're currently doing manually. And then all that it takes is just a couple of taps on the tablet or on any type of device to record the current production, and that's when you start actually capturing data. So very, very trivial.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. That's to answer that question. I see there's another one that's come up here. Information, so logging information. Does that? What sort of operating system do you need for the tablets?
Right. So you really don't need an operating system. All you need is a device that is capable of running a browser. So any type of halfway modern smartphone or smart device is able to do that. Any type of computer, tablets, whatever hardware you already have is probably plenty.
Excellent. And I think I've got one more question here. What does everyone in the workshop environment need to have access to Prodsmart, and how does the drawing office or the engineering office requirements, what does that requirement looks like for Prodsmart?
Sure. So I mean, really anyone who is either in production or is dealing with production data would be considered a user of Prodsmart. When it comes to the engineering and design data, this would typically be handed off to production planning. So you make sure that the engineering data is available to the production. So for example, you could upload any types of technical documentation as part of the product or each of the operations. You could make sure that work instructions are being digitalized and shown for each operation. Or there's also really a data repository. So if it's needed to hand off, let's say, NC data, G-code for running digital machines, then this could also be handed off to the workers through Prodsmart.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Look, on my end, that's all the questions that's come in. From the audience online, please, if there's some question that comes up after the webinar, please feel free to reach out. I strongly recommend that you sign up for the assisted trial or fill in your details for that. And what we would do is we would get you onto the the assisted trial with the Prodsmart team. But for everything else, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much, Jonathan. It's been really insightful, and thank you for sharing that presentation and making the time for us. We look forward to collaborating with you in future.
We solve our customer problems through digital transformation, helping them to design and make a better world. Get in touch and let us help you solve your problems. Connect with us on our website, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or email us on info@bakerbains.com. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Access a variety of tools including ebooks, training videos, content, templates, and guides that will aid in your digital transformation success. Some of these resources are free. Visit tools.bakerbains.com today to find out more.